Did you guys see that? Seriously, it was a ghost. I can feel it. I can feel it breathing on me. Whatever. Don't believe me. I know what I saw. And to prove to you that ghosts do exist, I'm teaming up with South Florida's paranormal expert, John Mark Carr. We're going ghost hunting, y'all. More than airports, forts, and the home of my great-granny Trainham, Fort Lauderdale serves as a paranormal paradise. And here on the banks of the spooky New River Waterway, apparitions don't just come out for Halloween. All right, John, so this is our first stop on the tour. Tell me a little bit about where we're at and what happens here.
Well, this is the Trainham house. This is considered the fourth most haunted house in Florida right now. It houses 6 ghosts inside. As paranormal researchers, we got a lot of different things such as orbs, vortexes, and we also captured some EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, that I'm going to play for you tonight.
Sounds good. So there's 6 ghosts inside this one house?
Yes, there is 6 ghosts inside of this house. Most of them are relatives, and one person is not a relative.
All right, well, let's go walk down a little further and check out the ghost.
Scared, come on.
So what type of ghosts would we see in here?
Well, there's a couple of different ghosts that a lot of people have presence of. One of them is a Native American girl who died right inside that doorway, and she came here for a reading and writing lesson, and she died of heat exhaustion right inside.
I can feel her pain. I look Native American, and I suffer from heat exhaustion here in South Florida, so I can definitely feel her pain. John, what are you doing right now?
I'm going to play you an EVP, electronic voice phenomena, so you could hear one of the sounds of the ghosts that are inside of this place.
All right.
This is Albert, one of the poltergeists that live upstairs on the 2nd floor. Also, he says, get out.
Okay, I heard that. All right. And on that note, we're out.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so we're hanging out in the club right now in front of the women's restroom. Why are we here?
Because a ghost prostitute died up on the 2nd floor.
Oh, holler, hands up in the air.
She died, and she got stabbed to death upstairs, and she wound up dying inside of this women's restroom. The prostitute died she got stabbed upstairs on the 2nd floor, and she winds up her spirit inside of here because her madam threw her inside. And now as a ghost, she sometimes turns the faucet on and off by herself. And if you're in the stall, what happens is that you'll hear crying, and the crying will be very, very weak, and then it'll start getting louder and louder and louder till it echoes all over the walls. You want to clip that stall to see who it is? It stops. You've just met the ghost prostitute.
Does she wash her hands?
No.
Ugh, that's creepy. Okay, so where are we at right now? This place looks pretty creepy.
This is the home of Tom and Camille Bryan. Tom Bryan dies up here at the age of 98 years old. His wife was 101 when she died. His son Perry dies at the age of 43 years old downstairs on the 1st floor. He drank himself to death.
I would too if I lived with my parents. What did we just hear? What are those noises? What are those noises? What just happened?
I don't know, but that was a loud thump.
I don't think they liked my joke.
Now, Perry is sometimes seen over here as an 8-year-old boy. He sometimes plays with the curtains, and sometimes he sticks his hand from underneath there. He came here back as an 8-year-old boy because when he was 8, it was 1912, and this was the first house to get electricity. Sometimes he likes to spin the ceiling fan right here.
The one that's spinning now?
Yeah, that one right there.
Okay, so John, how did you become a paranormal researcher?
At the age of 11 years old, I lived in a haunted house for 7 years. And after we got finished and the priest blessed the house, I didn't want to even talk about ghosts or do anything about ghosts, but I had a roommate in Norfolk, Virginia, and he heard my stories about living in a haunted house, and he lived in a haunted farm in Missouri, and he said, hey, I have an idea. If I die before you, I'll haunt you, and if you die before me, you'll haunt me. And I said no, and eventually he wore me down, and I said yes, and then he died 7 years later, and he haunted me for a year and a half. That's when I became a paranormal researcher. I took an online course, and I started doing a lot of paranormal research in Virginia. And then I came down here and I started Southeast Florida ghost research.
So, what is your definition of a ghost?
A ghost is like energy that has memory. And what happens is that memory will sometimes be manifest into sort of like an apparition, or sometimes an orb, which is a ball of light. And once they gain enough energy, they get to talk to you on EVPs, which is electronic voice phenomena, or they touch you and they, yeah, they do. Or sometimes they'll manifest themselves into spirit form and you get to see them. Here is one of our most photographed ghosts, and her name is Lulu Marshall. She drowned in the river right over there, and she's sometimes seen up on the second floor. And when people come by and when the place is closed, they say, little girl, can you let us in because we need to use the washroom? She stops and she starts to giggle, and then she says, I live in a 2-story house, she says. And as soon as she says that, about 5-10 seconds later, she vanishes in front of their face, scaring the bejesus out of them.
So first they giggle, then they get scared.
Yes.
Speaking of giggles, I have a joke for you.
Okay.
Do you know what kind of mistakes spooks make?
Boo-boos?
No, you knew it! What do you call a prehistoric ghost?
I don't know.
A pterodactyl. I'm really funny.
Yeah.
John, do you happen to know where baby ghosts go during the day?
I have no idea.
Day scare.
Well, this is the last spot on the tour. It's a downtowner saloon. They say the ghost of Al Capone hangs out inside of here. On the right-hand side is the billiard room, and sometimes they would hear Al Capone and his gang still playing pool over there.
Very cool. Well, John, thank you so much for the wonderful tour.
You're
You've
welcome.
definitely made a believer out of me.
Oh, good.
Miamians, you keep on surviving and check out more episodes at watch305.com. Did you guys see that? Hold on.